Independence Hall in Philadelphia, one of America's most historic sites. Here on Sunday morning, April 23, 1865, as part of a funeral train route to Springfield, Illinois, the body of President Abraham Lincoln laid in state on a platform in the center of the hall. Outside in front of Independence Hall and on the streets of this bustling city, a dense mob of 500,000 people lined up to pay their final respects for the slain president, assassinated 9 days earlier in Washington. Most were brought to tears, and many fainted in place from the crush of the crowds. One pastor in this city, perhaps the most prominent 19th century preacher in America, gave a eulogy for the dead president, but not here at Independence Hall. Instead, the noted Reverend Philip Brooks preached with a heavy heart from the pulpit of his own church, located just 13 blocks from this historic spot. There, he gave a memorable sermon on the life and death of Abraham Lincoln. Reverend Philip Brooks, the famous aforementioned 19th century American preacher, served as the second rector of the Episcopal Church of the Holy Trinity, located across from Rittenhouse Square in Philadelphia. He was noted for his sermons and theological style during his years in Philadelphia from 1862 to 1869, and later when he became Bishop of Massachusetts. 8 months after Lincoln's assassination, the Reverend Brooks took a trip to the Holy Land. There he was impressed by the Christmas Eve services at the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem, and as he sat on a hill looking back at the village of Bethlehem, while shepherds still watched their flocks at night, he felt at peace with himself. He later told friends, "That experience was so overpowering that forever there will be a singing in my soul." That powerful experience came at an important moment for Reverend Brooks because he was so personally affected and drained by the horrors of the Civil War and by the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. And it was this experience that inspired the young rector 3 years later to compose a poem titled, "O Little Town of Bethlehem." When the Reverend Philip Brooks read this tender poem to his Sunday school children, they were delighted, thus prompting him to persuade the church organist, a wealthy real estate executive, to set it to music long before Christmas Day. But the church organist, a fellow by the name of Louis Redner, procrastinated until one night he had a dream that greatly moved him to compose the music. Redner immediately did so upon arising, and on December 27, 1868, the Sunday school choir of Holy Trinity Church reverently began singing the peaceful lyric, "O little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie. Above the deep and dreamless sleep, the silent stars go by." The triptych on the wall behind the altar at Holy Trinity Church, installed in 1942, pays homage to this event. Needless to say, O Little Town of Bethlehem holds a special place, not only in American Christmas classics, but also here, as it is annually sung during the Christmas season.